Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining the training this afternoon. I am Dr. Yemisi Adeyeye, and we have in the house with us the amazing Dr. Dolapo Amusan. He's the co-founder of Zavandi Jewelry, and he's been part of Lifehound Business Network for years. And it's a pleasure to tap from his wealth of experience this afternoon in this Grow Your Business series, Business Growth series. So much for being part of today's Zoom meeting. I sincerely apologize for the delay. It's not intentional. The network on this side has been extremely poor. But as entrepreneurs, we don't give up. So when there is trouble, that's where we are stronger. We don't give up. So anytime I'm facing challenge, I just put out my entrepreneurial cap on and just tell myself I can do it. Nothing can pull me down. Yeah. So in the house this day, um, we have the amazing Dr. Dolapo. A lot of people are here and they want to meet the co-founder of Zavandi Jewelries. Those of you who are in Ikeja, Lagos, I'm sure you've seen Zavandi is one of the biggest store in Ikeja. For those of you that you want to say hi and hello, like I want to go forever with you, and you want to do it with a ring, either proposal, wedding, proposal, wedding, for your wedding proper, or even for anniversaries. So Zavali Jerry is your go-to. Just give them a call, send a DM. They're on Instagram. They ship all over the world. So this evening, we are privileged to have the CEO, the co-founder. I'm not sure if he bears the CEO. I know the other co-founder. Maybe she bears the CEO. I don't know. But the co-founder of Zavandi Jewelry, he's a seasoned entrepreneur. He's an amazing businessman, and he has led so many teams in different companies, global companies, and he has a lot on business structure. Something is happening recently, and is the Facebook grants. And so many people, despite that you're doing your business and you have lots of turnovers, you made hundreds of thousands, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, they cannot apply for these grants. Do you know why? Because they have no structure. And structure is the language of sustainability. Business structure is a language of peace. So if you want to have peace of mind as a business owner, you must just embrace business structure. You must structure your business. And someone was on my page on WhatsApp, and she ran to me, Madam, I don't have structure in my business, and I've been in business for a while, and I just want to put structure in the business. So I asked her, have you registered your business? She said no. So I was like, okay, so we have to start from ground zero. And there's a lot of things we need to do as CEO. CEO is not in the title. Co-founder is not a title. It's a responsibility. And one of the responsibilities is to ensure that you put policies in place, document your policies, your processes, and your procedures. So today, let me not take the topic, because this is what we treated throughout this month. And Dr. Amuson Dolapo is just doing a roundup for us. And don't forget, I'm also an author, and I just authored a very beautiful book that can help people structure your business. Entrepreneurship is a beautiful thing. You can send me a DM on Instagram at TMC Adeyeye so that you can get your copy, so that you can pre-order. And you know, Dr. Amusotu has a lot of beautiful things for us that we're going to hear later. So I sincerely apologize for us starting late. He's not in our habit doing this. Network was just horrible on this side. But I said, no, I'm not going to let it pull me down. So I put on my entrepreneur's cap. So now I'm going to give the floor to Dr. Dolapo Amuson. He's someone I've known for years. And I know that with his wealth of experience, is the right person to wrap up this month's training for us. So if you are not part of Lifehound Business Network Facebook group, please you have to join now, because there are a lot of trainings that you enjoy there. So last month was business, bookkeeping and accounting. This month was HRM. Next month is going to be something else. So please just make sure you are connected to us. Don't go anywhere. So I'm going to give the floor to our speaker now, Dr. Dolapo Amuson, and he's going to, take us away into the land of, business structure, human resource management. So let's get dreaming. Let's just get to do the work. And don't forget, please get your writing pad, either your device or something, and put it down there. Don't forget 3 sections: things you're learning that you start, things you will stop, and things you will continue to do. That's how to keep notes that are actionable. God bless you. Enjoy this training. So to you, Dr. Dolapo Amusa, you have the floor now.
Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you. I really appreciate you. Thank you for having me here. I don't know if you can hear me clearly. Can you?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Dr. Adi. I really appreciate the privilege of coming on the platform to come and take this session to wrap up the structure month. And I'm really looking forward to having an amazing time here. I'd like to welcome everyone. Thank you very much for joining in. So I'm going to put up my slides now. Please confirm if you can see it. Okay, awesome. That's great. So I'll just try to jump into it as soon as possible. So the first thing I did here was I tried to give this title, How to Take a Vacation from Your Business. And the reason why I chose this is because we need to position our mindset in this particular way in order to get the best out of business. And the question is, can you actually take a vacation from your business? Can you dare go on a 1-month break, turning off your devices, no email, no phone call, no WhatsApp, and alerts will still be rolling in for you? It might look like that's a pipe dream. It might look like that's something that is impossible for a lot of us wherever we are right now. But then that's the reason why we're having this session today, to open our minds to that possibility and also give us some practical steps of how do you even get to the point where you can say, I can dare take a vacation from my business. And that's the angle I'm going to be attacking on the business structure from today. And what Dr. Adeye already introduced is very important. You can't say you're running a business and you're not registered with the government. You can't say you're running a business and you don't have a corporate account and you don't have some certain documents. In fact, she almost even gave an elaborate synopsis of the entire thing that I will be talking about today. So I'm going to start with this slide. I want to confirm that we can still see. All right. So this slide says this is you chilling on a beach in Seychelles. You've gone on vacation. However, you keep your laptop close by to check your mails. And this is one of the descriptions of the address that a lot of entrepreneurs are right now. No matter where you go, you still find that your business is following you there. No matter where you are, whether in Nigeria or outside Nigeria, your clients are still chasing you because to an extent, you are your business. All right. Next, let me go to the next one. The next one here is a little funny. So this is you're skydiving in Dubai. And then you can see what I wrote underneath there. It says, but you are still chatting up a customer on WhatsApp. And this is another explanation of how that no matter where we go, business, the business that we started, it still follows us. We just, in a way, cannot seem to shake off the fact that, hey, I'm a business person, and I'm always in business. I'm always communicating. I'm always chatting. I'm always sending invoices. I'm always doing this. I'm always chatting up my vendors, chatting up my clients, and then it gets to a point where you ask yourself, will I actually ever be able to have some form of rest from this business. The next one I have here is, this is you're shopping in Paris, but your staff at the office, they keep messaging you even whilst you are seemingly away on vacation. And I've just put these three different pictures together just to show us, and I'm sure a lot of us who are in business are finding out that these things actually describe the address that we currently are in business. And I'll just go ahead and take us through, how do you get away from this kind of a scenario? So the question is, why is that you? Why are you a business person who, no matter where you go, no matter where you are, whether you're in the sitting room, whether you are in the bathroom, whether you're in the kitchen, you just find out that business keeps following you about? And the answer I have here is that because you run your own business. And the action word here is run. The fact that you run your business. Now, when you look at the examples of the big companies that we all have, that we all know all around the world today, whether in Nigeria, whether outside, you would realize that even though Aliko Dangote is the head of the Dangote Group, he does not run the Dangote company. Even though Jeff Bezos, who is the richest man in the world, and he currently reached another wonderful milestone sometimes this week of, I think, going past the 200 billion mark. Even though Jeff Bezos is right there at the top of Amazon, Jeff Bezos does not run Amazon. If Jeff Bezos wants to go on a 3-month vacation, Amazon will keep running. Even though Elon Musk is at the top of the Tesla organogram, even though he's the face of Tesla, if he decides to go on a 6-month vacation, Tesla will keep going on. Because the operating word there is that they are not the ones that run the business. And I think that's one question I just want us to have at the back of our minds. Am I the one running my business? When you start out, yes, it's okay if you're actually the one doing it, but it's important that you get out of that phase as fast as possible, as soon as possible, and as cleanly as you can. So there you have that answer. So I'm going to tell you a little about myself so that I can just give us a background. Dr. Adia has given us some hints into this. So my name is Dolapo. I co-founded Zavandi Jewelry with my wife, Kiva, in 2016. We're 4 years this August. What we do is thank you. We retail wedding jewelry. So that's the products that we sell: wedding jewelry, proposal, engagement rings, for the wedding proper, for anniversary. That's what Zavandi does. We have our retail store in Ikeja, Lagos. It's on Okwebi Street, very popular high street, and it's the wedding district of Lagos. So that's where we have our retail store in Ikeja. And also we also have our online store, which is www.zavandi.com, and we average about 150 visitors globally from all around the world every single day. So I think we're not doing bad at all. This is a brief snapshot of some of the products that our products are packaging, some of our happy clients. That's the bride in the white dress. Up there is Tomike Alayode. A few of us might know her. She's a popular influencer, and we're privileged to have been the one who supplied her wedding ring. So this is a picture of our team, not the full team. So our team is made up of 2 co-founders. That's me and my wife. We have 3 full-time staff, and we have 4 part-time who are not who kind of freelance on a contract basis with us, and that gives us like a total of about 9 staff strength. And I'm putting this last picture here because it's the fact that Zavandi is structured is the reason why last year, September, I was able to start my MBA at the Lagos Business School full time. Full time meaning I'm in school from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Monday to Friday. So it's literally another job, except that I'm the one paying them. So I'm highlighting this because a structured business is what allowed me to go on this journey to my MBA. So next, I'm going to tell you a story about Agnes. And I believe that as I tell this story, some of us might find ourselves looking like Agnes in some way. There are things I'm going to talk about Agnes that you'd be able to say, oh, that's me. That happened to me yesterday, or that happened to me last week or last month. And we're going to find a correlation between yourself and Agnes. So Agnes started a business out of passion, and that's usually the story of a lot of us. You're passionate about something. You see that there is a particular problem, and you're like, why hasn't anybody given the solution to this problem? And then you're like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give that solution. And I have here that Agnes loves to bake. And she used to bake for her friends who always craved her tasty desserts. And one day her best friend told her, Agnes, I think you should start a cake business. You will do well at it. Nobody in this state bakes like you do. And I'm certain that a number of us might read this story and be like, that's me. Maybe for you, it's not cake. Maybe you're a fashion designer. Your friends saw how you sewed one of your own clothes and they were like, I want you to also sew for me. And then you sewed for them and they were like, wow, you are like the best tailor around here. We think you should start a fashion designing business. Or maybe you are into technology, you just love tech and you're passionate about it. And then someone says, I think you should go into this. A lot of times we all start our entrepreneurial journey out of passion. Now that's not a good thing. It is, however, incomplete. So I wrote here that Agnes was a rock star. She knows cakes like the back of her hands. She's simply the best baker in town. And again, I'll add that this is also kind of the story of a lot of us. Usually, entrepreneurs are people who are awesome at the thing that they have decided to make a business out of, and that's usually the story. You are a rock star at it. However, okay, and then I have this final slide that says so talking about Agnes here. Agnes is the CEO, and the CEO here is not Chief Executive Officer. The CEO here means Chief Everything Officer, meaning she's the cook, the customer service agent, she's the one who is doing support, she's IT, she's HR, she's marketing, she's every single thing. And it only takes a certain amount of time before you realize that you cannot be everything. I put here that even sometimes Agnes does deliveries. I just want to, at this point, I just want to quickly take a poll. I don't know if we can all raise our hands. If you have ever in your business here done delivery, meaning at some point, whatever product it is that you deliver, whether you're a baker or a fashion designer or whatever it is. If at some point you have ever done delivery, I just want to show me by a raise of hands on the Zoom platform if we can do that. If I can just briefly, okay, so I have Bimka Okutoye putting up his hand. Any other person here who has started a business and at some point you have been the one that personally went to deliver. Okay, so Lukman also has his hand up. You personally went to deliver this item to the customer's doorstep. Now, okay, I have Maimunat Abdul Karim also putting our hands up. Now, this is something that almost every entrepreneur has done. For those of us who may be familiar with how Lagos is, there is nowhere in Lagos I have not been to in a bid to get a delivery done. Sometimes, I mean, the delivery guy is just not available, and something happens, something just happens, and you tell yourself, I tell myself, Dollar, if you do not stand up right now and go and get this item delivered to this client, there is going to be trouble. And I get into my car. Sometimes I take Uber. Sometimes I have to get public transport. But I know that I am going to get that delivered. So thank you very much for signifying. Just to remind me that I'm not alone in this. So the point here is, you are everything and everything is you. Now there's a popular song of Ty Tribbett, where I took this line out of, and and I'd just like to say, in a business, don't try to be everything and let everything be you. You see, this title of "You are everything and everything is you" is meant for God. God is the one that can afford to be that. In your business, you can't, you really cannot afford to. And what happens when you are everything and everything is you is, you get to a point where you actually get tired. And unfortunately, a lot of entrepreneurs don't prepare for that point where they will get tired. That's usually what happens. You see, when you have only one client, you trust me, there is no problem. You have one client, you have two, maybe even 10. There are certain businesses that 10 clients in the space of 24 hours, you would actually be fine. Like in fact, you'll be excited. You'll be like, wow, business is booming. However, a time is coming when, even to pick up your phone and answer those WhatsApp chats, you'll be like, oh, can I just get away from the work right now? And unfortunately, we don't prepare for that tired period. And that's usually what happens. So I have a question here. And the question is a rhetorical question. So I just want you to answer it in your mind. You can just write it down if you think you want to. And the question is, what happens to your business if I gave you a ticket for a 1-month holiday in Dubai? And the caveat for me giving you that ticket is, you're not taking your phone, you cannot be on WhatsApp, you cannot be on email, you cannot do anything business related if you're going to go on this trip. A lot of us are unable to take that ticket, and that's because we are tied to our business. We know that money is not going to come in if I do not get to put in the work. And that's the point where you start asking yourself, is this a business or is it another full-time job? Beyond being passionate about your business, it's also important to be able to take a break from it. It's important for you to, and this is how I like to see it. I want to work in the business because I want to, not because I have to. And you see, that distinction is always very important. That I am doing this because I want it. Not I am doing this because if I don't do it, this and this are going to suffer. That's the point where you start feeling like you're chained to your business and you feel like, I just want to get free of this business. Another question I want to put to you is, what if God answered your prayers and gave you a 10-fold increase? Now, 10-fold increase means everything that is currently happening in your business, God decides to put an extra zero at the end of it. You see, here's the thing. A lot of us are going to sit there and be like, wow, that's exciting. Because let's say you made, let's say you made 3 million naira in profit last month. What you see, when I give you this question, what you see is, oh, so last month I made 3 million, and if God gives me a 10-fold increase, I'm going to make 30 million in profits. You see, that sounds nice until we all look at this analysis, and look at this analysis with me. So I just did a very quick, a very quick and rough calculation of, let's say, someone who in your business, you get 100 inquiries every day, every month rather, 100 inquiries. Let's say 100 inquiries every month. Let's assume this like a high ticket business where even you can say I have 12 completed sales at the bottom, where 12 sales is a very good month for you. Let's just have that assumption. 100 inquiries, and I divided those 100 inquiries, 70 of them are coming through WhatsApp and 30 are coming through phone calls. For each of the WhatsApp, let's assume that you're going to have a 20 message interaction with every single person before the interaction ends. So 20 messages on WhatsApp means that you have 1,400 WhatsApp messages. And then let's assume you're going to make 3 minutes phone call total to each client, and 30 phone calls means 90 minutes on phone. Out of this 100, if you can see in this circle here, 40 of them are just inquiring because they just want to know the price. And we all experience this. If you kind of agree with me about the fact that if 100 people contact you, not 100 people are actually going to buy. Can you just see your hand? Can I see your hands up if you kind of agree? It's not. I'm not trying to make it a perfect example, but if you think this is kind of reasonable, 40 just want to know the price. That is all they're inquiring about. So I want to just, okay, so I've Bemiga giving me his hand there. Thank you for the encouragement that this chat that I have here, it's a reasonable one. So 40 of them just want to know the price. Let's say 20 of them are comparing your price with the competitor. And this happens a lot. Even as entrepreneurs, we probably also do it, where you want to know, you want to have an idea of prices from different clients, and then you just go around and sample. Every time you call a business, remember that the person at the end of that business is thinking this is a potential client, even though you at the back of your mind, you know that you are simply price hunting around. And then let's assume 25 are planning to buy next month. So they are making the inquiries now, but then they are not planning to make the purchase until next month. So they don't contribute any money to you right now. And then let's take it that 15 out of the 100 are the ones that are ready to buy. Okay, so out of the 15, two of them changed their mind, even though they were ready to buy. Maybe something happened along the way, and this happens. We, as entrepreneurs, we need to know that these are reasonable scenarios that can happen. And let's assume that 13 out of the 15 asked for account number. And one thing I'm certain of, not everybody that asks for your account number eventually ends up paying. I'm sure we'll agree with that. And let's take it that it becomes 12 completed sales. So let's assume this is what your typical month looks like before God answered the prayer of, I want a 10-fold increase. So let's go to your business now after 10x. So can we see that every single figure here has carried an extra zero on it? 1,000 inquiries. Out of the 1,000, 400 are the ones that just want to know the price. 200 of them are comparing with competitors. 250 are planning to buy next month. Only 150 out of them are ready to buy. Out of the 150, 20 of them are going to change their mind. 130 will ask for your account number. 10 out of those 130 that ask for account number, you will never hear from them again. You will message them. They will not reply you. They'll probably even block you. All right? And then it ends up with 120 completed sales. Here is now where the problem is. Can you get safely, sanely, with your mental capacity intact? Can you go from 1,000 inquiries and stick it through to get to this 120 completed sales? What if the first 400 out of this 1,000 inquiries are people that just want to know the price? What will happen is that you will have gotten tired of the process before you hit the 120 people that are actually going to make that purchase. And this is just to give us a rough idea of what will happen if your business got 10x. What will happen? One more thing before I get into all the various steps that you need to take is remember your 9-to-5 job. Some of us have been working in certain organizations prior to starting our business, and we probably quit our 9 to 5 job because we didn't want to take orders from anybody again. You wanted to be free. You wanted to be able to wake up at any time you want and then go to bed at any time. You wanted to be able to spend more time with your family. That's why you decided to leave your 9 to 5 job. You wanted to be able to, you wanted it to be that if someone says, I have a program on Wednesday by 1 p.m., you're not going to be thinking, oh my God, I have to be at work Wednesday night or 1 p.m. I can't get permission from my boss to attend. All that came into the decision process of saying, you know what, I'm going to leave my job. However, what happens when you don't have structure is your business even probably becomes worse than that 9 to 5 job. Because at least during your 9 to 5, you had your Saturdays to yourself. And how many of us agree that as entrepreneurs sometimes, you don't even have any day to yourself? Saturday and Sunday are days of the week for you. You don't even know what is weekend because constantly clients are getting in touch with you. Clients don't even know close of business. There are people that will message you 9 p.m. on a Friday night. After all, everyone is online. Everyone wants to enjoy that online life. So without structure, what happens is that your business just becomes like the 9 to 5 that you left. I put here that how do you become free from a business that needs you to be present 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And I wrote here that at least your last boss never called you for work on Sunday. I hope maybe some of us had that. So another thing is people that feel stuck handling the sales calls in the business, or they always have to be on the field doing the job. One thing that Dr. Day had mentioned earlier is the CEO title. You see, the CEO title is not a action title, actually. The CEO, one of the primary and most important functions of the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer in this case, is that the CEO should be the strategic thinker of the organization. The CEO should be the one charting the direction that the business is going. And I can bet it with you, a lot of CEOs today are not charting any direction. They are simply attending to sales calls and answering questions from clients and giving price and maybe preparing invoice. And like we all said earlier, all of us at some point or the other have done delivery. But that is not the job of the CEO. Or some of us have employees who are just not getting it. So sometimes, I've been talking earlier about people who you're just the only one in the business. But then there are people that have employees and they think that, simply because I've employed someone and put them there, I'm suddenly free. And then you realize that you're not free because one, and I hear this a lot, is that the employees just don't seem to get it. They're like, when I was, and then you say, when I was the one that was handling this particular sales, maybe this sales thing, or this, or when I was the one handling the WhatsApp, when I was the one on Instagram, I knew how I'm going to answer this client. But this staff that I handled, she's just doing it anyhow. Like, I'm even correcting her English. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then at some point, what now happens is that you're not like, you know what, just give me the phone. And you decide to start doing the job by yourself. And unfortunately, you cannot fire the employee because technically the employee has not done anything wrong. And what now happens is you're looking for reasons to let go because you're like, I hired you, I'm paying your salary, but the job I want you to do, you're not doing it properly. But then I have to still do it, and now I still have to pay your salary. And then it just becomes a vicious cycle. And so it's important to put structure to ensure that when you employ people and put them in positions, you are actually able to close your eyes and sleep, knowing fully well that they're going to get the job done the way you want them to. Now I'm going to go ahead right now and define, give us some definitions of structure. So I have here the structure, a noun, can be defined as the secret that keeps successful entrepreneurs going when they become tired. Now, I believe in definitions being looked at critically. And one critical word in this definition I wanted to note is the word when. A lot of us don't realize that there's a time when we will get tired. We think getting tired is a question of if. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. There's a time when you get tired. No matter how much you love to bake, a day is going to come and you will see flour, sugar, and egg, and you're going to hate those three ingredients because you're like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. The time is coming where you'll see a new fashion, a new fashion style, and you're going to be like, no, I'm not going to cut patterns again. No, I'm tired of this. And structure is what ensures that even before you get tired, or maybe even when you're already tired, you are able to put processes in place so that when you get tired, something keeps going on and the business is running independent of you. Another definition I have for structure as a verb is the art of removing yourself from your business so that you can have your own life. I always like to say it this way: your business is not you. You are not your business. Your business and you are two very separate things. You have a name. Your business has a name. Sometimes your business can take your name, but please, your business and you are not the same thing. And it's always very important. And I jokingly say when I consult with clients, one of the things I like to say is, please, as much as possible, don't put your name. Try not to have your name inside the business name, because it gives you this illusion that, oh, this is my baby, this is me, and to an extent, it attaches us in the wrong way to our business. As much as possible, you want to ensure that you're separating yourself from your business. Another definition of structured, in this case, as an adjective, is that'll be a structured business. So a structured business is a business that gives you credit a lot in your sleep. You see, a business is a machine. A business is an organism. A business is an entire organization that, as much as possible, should be separated from yourself. And that, I'll tie it back to what Dr. Adeye had mentioned earlier at the start, is one of the very first steps that you need to take is to register your business and as an entity. That's the word. Let your business be able to stand alone, separate from you. Very, very important. Because the moment you do that separation, it makes the whole structure process as easy as possible. So the first thing I put here is that we need to understand about structure is it starts with a mindset. And I hope with this initial slide, I've been able to take some of us who have not had that mindset of, oh, my business should actually be separated from myself. I should not be the one doing everything. We feel like because I'm the best baker, there's no how I'm going to employ someone who can do this baking. So I have to be the one doing it. And that's a wrong mindset to grow a business. With that mindset, your business is going to stay small because we're all praying for increase. How do you have a business in Nigeria and New York and Dubai together, and you will be the one baking in Nigeria, baking in New York, baking in Dubai? So if you're thinking of that level of expansion, then even when you are simply alone, when you're just one man in one corner in Lagos, or in one shack in Abuja, or in one tiny store in Calabar, even when you are just that small person, that small business, you should already be thinking, if I had a branch in New York right now, I wouldn't be the one baking, right? So how exactly am I going to make that dream work? So it starts with a mindset. The art of structuring your business starts with a mindset. And then the second thing I have here is that it is a lifelong process. Structure is an ongoing process. And one of the things that I know I'll be gauging the success of this series, this webinar, this current webinar on, is that you start the process. Once you start the process, everything just kind of takes care of itself. You don't have to, with everything that you're going to hear today, excuse me, I'm not going to guarantee you that in the next 1 week, you'll be able to take a break from your business and go on that trip. No, but you will have been on the way to actually achieving that. So 2 things, it starts with the mindset, imbibe that mindset, and then the second is that understand that it's a lifelong process. You keep on adding to it. If you have structured your sales process today, you take your operations tomorrow, you take your marketing next, you take your HR, and then gradually, within a year, you realize that I can actually afford to take a 1 week break and nothing gets disrupted in the business. That is when you now have a structured business. So I'm going to take us through some practical steps into how to get your business structured. And if you have not been writing, this is the part to start taking very important notes. The very first is that remember that you are not your business. I already mentioned this earlier, and I'm putting it as the very first point that I want us to start with. You are not your business. And I put here, phone number, number 1, phone number. What's the number that people call for your business? Is it your personal line? If it is, that's where you should start from. Your business and your personal line should not be the same phone number. That's where structure starts from. Because what happens is when you want to go on a trip, you should be able to drop a phone and say, this is the business phone. And then you know that anybody calling able to pick. However, if your personal line and your business line are the same thing, it means your business follows you every single place that you go. Same thing applies for email address. You want your business to have its own email address. Remember, the first thing we're trying to do here is me and my business, 2 very separate entities. I have my phone number. Business too should have his or her own phone number, depending on the gender that you want to give your business. Location also. Is your business address the same as your house address? It shouldn't be. Separate them two. Your business should reside in its own location, and you should reside in your own house, your own residential location. And the beautiful thing is there are a number of options that entrepreneurs now have these days as far as location is concerned. There are work offices, there are co-working spaces that have this wonderful package where you are able to pay a token, and for a year, your business can use their address as the business address. What that means is when someone is looking for the business, they simply go to that address and they don't come to your own house. What that helps you do is when you go to that address, you tell yourself that now I'm in the business. And when you leave, the moment you leave that address and you get to your own house, you can say, I am in my own personal space. What we're trying to do is we're separating your personal space as much as possible from your official space. Also, work hours. Now, work hours is important. Your business should have its own work hours. And one thing is, sometimes as entrepreneurs, we tend to be scared to tell clients that we have work hours. And it works to our detriment because we end up overworking ourselves and not being able to show ourselves valuable to customers. One thing I've realized is the big businesses, they know how to, they tell you these are work hours and customers just have to work with it. The truth is that if you're delivering value, it gives you the leverage to be able to say, these are my work hours. We open 10 and we close 6. And once we are closed 6, we're sorry, you have to come back tomorrow. You are nice about it. You are polite about it. You're conscious about it. But then you are also firm about it. It's important. And here's what I've realized in my little number of years in business is that customers will always take that little extra rope if you allow them. They will always take that extra space. If you tell them you close 5, they may try to push to 5:30. They may. If you tell them you close 7, they will know that, okay, so this business closes 7. Whatever time you tell them you open and close is what they conform to. If you, however, leave it open, they're going to call you up at 2 a.m. and chat you up and make funny requests. So it's important that you're very firm, very rigid about flexible to an extent, not too rigid, but have it defined so that you have something to stand on. So first, you are not a business. Separate all these items from your business. Have your own separate phone. Let the business have its own phone. Email address separate. Location separate. Work hours, let it be separate. Because you want to be able to have your own personal time and also your official time. The next step is to draw a company organogram. Now, an organogram just highlights all the different roles, all the different positions, all the different responsibilities that are in that business, and tells us how connected each of them is. And I wrote here that know which hat you are wearing per time. I talked about the chief everything officer, the CEO. What happens is when we're running a one-man business, we're wearing all the hats. You are the this, you are the salesperson, you are the marketing person, you are the HR person, you are the production person, you are the delivery person, you are everybody. And it's important whilst you're doing this, which is okay to start, draw out that organogram so that you can see all the hats that you are wearing, such that when you pick up your phone and because the customer called, tell yourself at the back of your mind that I am wearing the sales officer's hat right now. And then when you're trying to, let's say you're trying to set up marketing, you're trying to set up online Facebook advertisement for your company, you remind yourself that I'm wearing the marketer's hat right now. When you know all these hats, what it does is it helps you it tells you these are all the different roles. And when I want to start hiring people, not a question of if, when I want to start hiring people, I can easily say, okay, let me hire someone to take the marketing hat away from me. And what you have done there is that you have defined that role, you have put it together, and then you can give it to that person and say, these are the things that I need you to do. And that is the start of a structured business. So I've drawn a pretty simple organogram here, just as an example. So we have at the top there, we have the CEO, and we have 3 people reporting to the CEO. There's the head of operations. There's and operations is the department that actually makes the money for a business. So every business actually has an operations department. For a hospital, for example, operations are the doctors and the nurses, because they are the ones that actually, well, in the case of a hospital, they are the ones that do the operation, the surgical operation. But then operation is the activity that brings in the money. For a fashion designer, operations is the department that will cut the pattern, measure the client, and sew the dress. That's the operations department. For a bakery, operations are the ones that will get the ingredients, put them together, mix it, put it in the oven, and come out with a cake. That's operations. It's different from marketing, for example, here. Marketing is when you pick up your phone and you are trying to get clients to come into the business, you're trying to get clients to know about the business. It's different from operations. Marketing gets the clients in. Operation actually makes the product that the clients want to buy. And then there's also head of HR admin, because there are some admin things that also needs to go on. We need to set up the bank accounts. We need to ensure that accounts are balanced. We need to ensure that documents are in place. Those things don't make money and they don't bring clients in. However, it's also a very integral part of the business. So this is just a very rough one. Head of operations, head of HR admin, head of marketing. So under operations, let's assume there are 2 different ones. There's customer service and there's production. Customer service is where sales will fall into. When the customer contacts your business on WhatsApp, the people that respond to them. Let's put them under operations. This is very rough. For your business, it might be a little different. I'm just using this as a rough example. And then there's production. Production actually being the department that makes the product, the product itself. Under HR admin, there's recruitment. Recruitment is the one constantly looking out for talents to come into the business and work in it. Admin, let's put accounting under that, office management and all that. I just want to confirm. Okay, everybody's still with me, right? I just need a little verbal confirmation that we're all still here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are with you.
Okay, great. Thank you. And let's say under head of marketing, there's online and offline marketing. Online marketing goes on Facebook, Instagram, gets the word out there. Let's say offline marketing does billboards, does flyers, and all that. So what happens is when you draw this organogram, when you start and draw this organogram, look at this slide. What is going to happen is that you are going to put your name everywhere. And that is usually how it starts. So in this case, they were looking at Agnes. Agnes is the CEO. Agnes is the head of operation. She's the head of HR admin, head of marketing. She's everything. This is okay to start here. This is where a lot of us start from. That's fine. And what happens is, as we go on, Agnes now says, now that I'm ready to hire someone, where do I think is which role do I think is the first one I want to like employ someone to come and handle? And let's say she now thinks, you know what, I think customer service is where I want someone to just handle this, to be the one answering all these clients on WhatsApp. I don't want to see WhatsApp at all. And then what now happens is she now employs someone, and that person now comes in to the customer service role. And remember I said, the whole structure process is a lifelong process. It's gradual. Don't try to rush it, because if you rush it, what happens is that it ends up bouncing back and you end up getting into issues. And then gradually, this entire organogram now begins to look like what maybe an MTN, the organogram of MTN or Dangote is going to look like finally. Or at least you get started somewhere and you start, and what happens is Agnes starts dropping all the hats one by one and having other people take it away from her. And this is very important. So drawing an organogram is the next step, very, very crucial. So I move on. The next is to start documenting all processes. Start documenting all processes. Learn to explain on paper, audio, or video. Now, a lot of us, we tend to believe that the only way we can do business process is that, we have to write. But I have come to realize one thing in this life. Or as much as possible, try to make the work easy for yourself. Some of us can actually talk, but we're not so good at writing. Some of us know how we can record on WhatsApp. We don't chat much. But if it's to do voice notes, we can record voice notes. And if that is how you can do it, no problem. Go ahead and record that voice note to document some of the processes and get someone to transcribe what you have recorded into written words. For some of us, we might feel more comfortable maybe in front of a camera. Turn on your camera, you have your phone, get a tripod, put it on, good background, and do a video explaining the process. I realized, having worked with a number of entrepreneurs, writing on paper might actually be a difficult thing, and it's important that we are aware that there are other options. And then what you now do is you document all your processes. You don't have to do everything at once. You can decide, this week I'm going to take the WhatsApp answering process. So when all this while that I've been answering the WhatsApp chat, what are the things that I've been doing? Okay, the very first thing I always remember to do is I always remember to greet the client. So you write it down. Always ensure that you greet clients. Maybe then you realize that another thing is that I usually try as much as possible to ask for their name, because when I ask for the client's name and I use the name, it just makes the entire interaction a little more human. And then you note that down. Always remember to ask for client's name. And then maybe the next thing is is to always is to put forward to the client a set of maybe a guide, an FAQ. You just what you do is gradually you are documenting the entire process. Well, because here's the thing: those of any entrepreneur who says, "I hired someone for this role, but when the person did it, I just like he or she was just not getting it." It is usually because you have done it and you are very good at it, and I don't doubt that. However, you have not been able to document how you became very good at it, because here's the thing: nobody brought customer service from heaven. We all learned it here. We all learned that, okay, you should smile, you should do this, you should ask their name, you should not talk to them rudely, you should be courteous. We all learned all these things, and it's our job as entrepreneurs to take all those knowledge that we have, take it out of our minds, put it down on paper, or put it down on video, or put it down on audio, and be able to give it to our employees. Once they see that, they have something that they can work with. So documenting the process, start documenting the process is another important thing. So the first I talked about is separate yourself from the business, know that you're separate from the business. The second is draw an organogram. Even at the stage right now that you are just one man doing everything, still draw that organogram and put your name everywhere so that you know where you are starting from. And then you can now start documenting the process. The fourth I have here is know your frequently asked questions. Having consulted with a number of entrepreneurs, I realized that in all honesty, all the questions, if the clients are going to ask your business 100 questions, usually those questions are not more than 10, 15. It's just that they keep asking the questions repeatedly. For example, if you're into maybe baking, for example, the client will probably always ask, can you show me pictures of the cakes that you have? That's a frequently asked question. And it's your job to now prepare your employees to always be able to answer that question as perfectly as you will have answered it. So it's important to know the frequently asked questions. And the simple exercise that I go through to know this is just take your WhatsApp chat and go through the last, sometimes I do this for the clients, go through the last 50 customer chats and read through them with fresh eyes. You will realize that there is always a pattern. They ask this question and then you answer them this way, and then they ask this question and then you answer them that way. There is usually a defined pattern for every single business type. And you should know that pattern so that to an extent, you know that your structure can take care of 7 out of 10 clients that contact the business. The remaining 3 that are aberrations, maybe there are things that have never happened before in the last 1 year. Those ones, you can take them on a case-by-case basis. But then when you have your structure in place, you realize that you've taken care of most of the other customers. The next I have here is to embrace technology. This is 2020. We have technology at our disposal, and it's important that as entrepreneurs, we embrace technology and we are able to make the best use of it. I've realized that technology helps me take away stress. There are issues that you're having in your business right now that honestly, technology just solves it like that for you. And I'm going to give, I think I'll give 2 examples. So I have this particular list of 7 tech tools that make your business easier. And the very first one is an electronic clocking machine. Now, one of the problems that entrepreneurs have is especially when you have employees, is that you want people to arrive work on time. You don't want them to leave work before closing. You want to be able to keep an accurate track of who came to work at what time. And the old method is have a sign-in register somewhere at the front desk where everybody comes in, they sign in the time that they came in, they write it, and then maybe you're reviewing that at the end of the month. You're counting how many times this person came early, how many times they came late, and then I have realized that is a cumbersome process that just adds to your stress. And then what happens is you find yourself shouting, you find yourself always on edge. But I realized the day I discovered that there are electronic clocking machines, what it does is that it registers the fingerprints of your staff. It's a very simple, very small device. It's just about the size it's even less than the size of a notebook. It's mounted somewhere in the facility. When they come in every morning, they put their fingerprint. There are even those that actually can recognize your face, and then it just uses facial recognition. They just put in their fingerprint, and that records the time that they came in to the facility. When they're closing at the close of work, put in their fingerprint also, and that's it. And this device can automatically export for you an Excel sheet that tells you this staff, for all these days in the month of August, this is the time this person came in. That way, you don't have any stress. You can tell if you have to sanction someone and the person says, why are you sanctioning me? You simply pull up the log. This log says that on Monday, 3rd of August, you logged in at 8:02. In fact, it will tell you 8:02:36, for example. That's to tell you the second down. It gives you the time down to the second, and it's very transparent, and it just gives you less stress. I think another one is email alert forwarding. So for businesses where you have employees and a customer walks in and makes payments, and they need to confirm the payments before they release the goods to the client. The day I discovered email alert forwarding, what that does is whenever any credit alert comes into your account, you are sent a text message and then you're also sent an email. And what this forwarding can do is you can set up in your email to say whenever, so let's say you bank with GT, for example, you'd realize that, and let me just give you a brief summary of how this works. Every time GT sends you an alert, the title, the subject of the email is usually constant. Usually comes something like transaction alert, credits, and then it will put the amounts in brackets, and then the mail will now read the amount, the time, the customer's reference, the name, and all that. You can set up an email forwarding in Gmail that says every time you get an email from GT Bank, let's say alert@gtbank.com, and it has a title that contains the word credit, because you know that it's when money comes in that you see credit. Always forward this type of email to, and then you forward it to the business email. What that does for you is every single time an alert comes in, automatically that email gets the notification. And what that means is that they never have to call you again to say, Madam, a customer said he made transfer of 50,000 naira. Have you gotten it? That would never happen. So these are just two different tech tools that I teach entrepreneurs on how to make their business easier. Okay, someone is asking, is there an app for the electronic clocking machine? I am not aware of it, but I think you can there's the physical machine, the physical one, and it's not very expensive. I think you can get it for less than 20,000 naira and have it installed, and it will just be there. But I'm not aware of it. There could be an app, but I so far I've only tried out the one that is the physical device. Sometimes the issue with having an app is that what if someone is in their house and they have the app installed and then they are able to log in from their house? Like, the fact that it's physical usually just makes it a little more, it makes it more reliable for you in a sense. And someone says, depending on the capacity of the clocking device. Usually these devices, the way they capture data, they capture it in very small in very small sizes. So even sometimes they can go a year or 2 years and capture data enough for you, and they will actually not run out of memory. So those are just some 2 examples. The remaining 5 are for my exclusive to my clients who have put me on a retainer for consulting. So let me move on to this question of a concern that we as entrepreneurs usually have when we are thinking of structure. Because you ask yourself, if I put all this structure in place and put everything, bam, 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 and then I realize that, oh, so this is everything about my business, I can now step back from it. That can't my employee just see everything and put it together and then run away, steal it, and go and start their own thing? And for that, the answer I have is the next one, which is always protect yourself with the law. That's an important structure step that we as entrepreneurs need to take. We need to protect ourselves with the law. The first I have here is have non-disclosure agreements with your employees. I've been together with my wife since we started Zavandi. We've always had NDAs, that's non-disclosure agreements, signed with every single employee that comes to work with us. It's not a very lengthy document. It's just about 1 page. The summary of the document is, as you are working with us, whilst working with us, you are not permitted to let anybody know any of the company operations, any of the company procedures. You are not allowed to divulge it to a third party. And also the fact that if you leave the business within 6 months, you are not permitted to start your own competing business type, such that you, in a way, took the secret and then used it to start your own business. And honestly, I must tell you, here's the truth. In the last 4 years of us having this agreement in place, we have never for once had to enforce it. However, we get them to sign it, but we've never had the reason to have to enforce it. The fact that it's there alone is usually enough deterrent to ensure that as much as possible we are covered. And then we know that, at least because they have this sign, if anything happens later on and we feel like we want to ever take legal action, there is a document that we can base our fight on. Then the other thing is that in the process of structuring, and then as I'm rounding up, in the process of structuring, you must know the things that you must be able to distill your business to know, okay, these things are simply operational stuff. I can structure them. However, some things are trade secrets. And in a sense, you know that this thing that is trade secret, there is no way, you must be willing to understand that there is no way we can structure this out. So to an extent, we just have to work with it. An example is a restaurant. Let's say KFC, for example. I'm not sure. I've actually not going to read exactly how they do it, but I'm assuming that KFC, for example, have their spice and seasoning, whatever. They have a premix that is done, and they never tell any of the KFC restaurants what is in that seasoning. All they do is they give you your monthly supply of the seasoning that would make, and then they give you a list of the procedure of how to fry the chicken with the seasoning, such that if they give you the seasoning and they give you the procedure, you will produce KFC the exact same way in Lagos as it's done in the US. However, they don't tell you what's in that seasoning. So structure in this case was that they documented the process of frying the chicken, because they know that we cannot afford to go and be frying chicken in the US, in the UK, in Lagos, and also in China. However, the mixing of that, the special mix of what is contained in that seasoning, we will not reveal it to anybody, and we will ensure that we are shipping it all around. Same thing for Coca-Cola. Nobody knows the Coca-Cola formula. It's also sent out to all the bottling companies all around the world. They give give it to them. I think I don't know how it's transported, but then when it gets to the destination, it's mixed up, and then everybody has Coke. So the process of mixing will be documented. However, the process of producing the secret formula would always be kept hidden. So you should know what is my value proposition as a business. Sometimes your value proposition is actually maybe the specialist that you have, maybe in your business, and you know that there is no way around it. This specialist gets the job done. So we can structure everything. However, the specialist just comes to shows up into a structured environment, gets the job done, and that's it. So it's important to know what's my MVP. And usually you avoid divulging your MVP in a sense. Also, have terms and conditions that you have outlined with your clients. And finally, also have service level agreements, SLAs, with your vendors. So if you're in a business where you tend to need other businesses to supply inputs for you, also have agreements with them, because all these things just reduce the level of stress that you are using to operate in the business. And I realized once things are documented like this, you get people to sign, you realize that you just have a lighter workload to do. And finally, that I'm going to talk about is, please protect your money. So as much as you are trying to structure everything, one thing that is important is to protect your money. I think I saw one question earlier. So I saw this question earlier from Okpayadishino, that will the email alert show the company account balance? Very wonderful question. When I was initially going to start this email forwarding thing in my business, I was very concerned about that, because I didn't, to an extent, I didn't want, I tried to not let everybody in the company know. I mean, they don't have to know the company's account balance. So one solution I did, and I'll tell you what I did then and what is even currently obtainable. What I did then was I opened sub-accounts for the business. So I go to the bank. Opening sub-account is a free thing. Just let your account officer know. I mean, of course, I'm saying this assuming that we all have registered businesses. When you have registered business, I can even think of having a sub-account. You have a sub-account, and then you can have, my business, for example, is Zavandi. There's Zavandi, which is the main account. There's Zavandi operations account. There's Zavandi savings account. There's Zavandi for vendors account. There's Zavandi, we have different product collections. I have another collection account. So what I now do is, the account that customers pay into, when money comes into it, it gets moved to another account, such that account by default always has zero balance. So if someone pays in 50,000 naira right now, the balance of that account would be 50,000 naira, and nothing has been divulged. That was how I set it up earlier. However, I realized recently GT actually introduced a feature that allows you, that tells you whenever they send you an email alert. Now, this is specific to GT Bank because that's the bank I use. I don't know if other banks have it. You can turn off whether you want the account balance to be visible. So it's actually a feature that they have. If you use GT, speak to your account officer, and I'm sure they will set you up with that. So what that does is, every time they send you an email alert, they will not show you the balance. And then the moment you forward it, you don't have any problem. If you want to know your account balance, you actually just dial your USSD code, or you log in yourself into your internet banking. And that also ties into the fact of protecting your money. As much as possible, you want to go cashless with your transactions. It just makes your life easier. When all the money being paid is paid electronically, the chances of theft goes down drastically, because people cannot steal electronic money. At least as far as I can tell right now. They can't. So it just makes your life easier. If you can have a POS machine, have a POS terminal, so a POS payments are made, or transfers are made. And of course, the thing about transfer is that when you're doing transfer, try to set up this email forwarding so that because if they do transfer and they still need to be calling you, it's as good as you are still present in the business. So I remember one of the advice that one of my mentors gave me about 3 years ago, and it has never left me, is that the token, the physical token that you are given, the token for your business, that make sure that token stays with you. Out of the things that you can structure, please, as much as possible, don't structure that token to someone else. As much as possible, stay on top of your money. Let that token be the one. Let it be with you. Let it be in your possession, because it just helps you to stay in charge of your money. So I've been able to go through these 7 steps, and I trust that haven't gone through this, it just sets us all on the step to structuring our business. Like I said, it's not an overnight process. It's not something that will happen in the next 1 or 2 weeks. But then once you get started, once you change that mindset, once you set yourself like that, you know that you are on the way to being able to take a vacation from your business. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That was a very, very brilliant presentation, and it actually opened my eyes to other aspects of structure that I probably too have not really taken cognizant of. So for us in the house, please, if you have any question for our amazing presenter, Dr. Dolapo Amusan, please let us know. And again, I think I did not remember to tell you guys that Dr. Dolapo Amusan is a medical doctor. So he's not PhD doctor. So those of you that think I'm the only medical doctor that is always talking business. So I have colleagues who are also passionate about businesses. Though I'm in the medical, in the healthcare sector, but Dr. Dolapo decided to go into fashion and beauty. I think jewelry falls under fashion and beauty, right?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
All right. So he decided to go into fashion and beauty. So please don't forget that structure, like he said, it's a journey. It's not something you learn today and you achieve everything today. But one thing I also want you to know is that as you learn structure, the most important thing is for you to go and practice it. Because if you do not practice what you've learned, you will not be able to, if you don't practice it immediately, you may not remember. You just keep learning and learning and learning. And I'm not an advocate of continuous learning with no practice, because my joy as a business teacher is for you to have structure in your business. In fact, I was in a meeting with a group of entrepreneurs this last week, and I was heartbroken because none of them was able to apply for the Facebook grant. I'm sorry I'm mentioning Facebook grant over and over again, because that's one of the that's one of the opportunities that is currently on. I think it will close this coming week. How will money be flying around and you cannot have it? I don't get it. How? Please put structure in your business. I'm Dr. Dolapo Amusan, co-founder Zavandi Jewelry, has actually, give us like a checklist, things you need to pay attention to. Then he also puts some under lock and key. So if you really, if you want to be part of the one that is under lock and key, you can always reach out to him. Like I keep mentioning, Zavandi. You will see that, okay, I think Dr. Dolapo is still sharing something. He has something for us.
Okay. Oh, no, I can start
right. Now. Okay, so Please structure your business. In it is peace. In it is business growth. In it is business sustainability. In it is expansion. In it is franchise. If you want to sell a franchise, you must have structure. You know, I'm sure some people, you are not from Nigeria or you may not understand this slogan, but there's this thing that some parts of Nigeria, they say, anywhere belle face na road. That means anywhere you are facing is road, no direction kind of business. We should not do that. If you don't know structure, if you don't have structure, please learn it. And there's hardly anything you cannot learn online now. See, we are doing this, you are in the comfort of your home, your office, or wherever, and you are learning this. It's free. This course, it's not like it does not cost us money. Some of you got emails. It's because we paid money. That's why the email marketing can do that for us. So it's not that you got it free as at today does not mean it will be free every day. And I tell people when I do these programs free, enjoy it because I will take it off market and it's going to be for people who has brought value to the table. Even if it's going to be like a bonus that I'm adding to something. But people must know that you need to pay attention to value and practice value so that you can have value and be able to give it out. So Dr. Dalapo, I think you still have like something to tell us about your program coming up in September. So you can just
yes.
About that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I do regularly is to have a 14-day masterclass, and this one is more. It's not talking. It's not just dishing out academic stuff. It's actually very practical stuff where you can say, I'm taking. What we do there is we give actual actionable points. You get to do it. You come back after a few days. Have you done this? Have you done that? And then we just review it as we go. What it does is that it takes the whole thing from just dishing out academic stuff and actual practical steps. So I think the next cohort starting on 5th of September, and anyone interested can register to join. What I do is have a regular Zoom sessions every weekend to review what has happened in the course of the week. There are tasks to do. It's totally action based. We're not just dishing out stuff or reading stuff. It's actually very, very practical based on the particular business that everyone is running. So 14-day, 5th of September. I think anyone who is interested in it can just get in touch with you. It's just 45,000 naira for the 14 days.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And I'm sure that people who are interested will get across to me.
Okay.
Dr. Dalapo has been a blessing to us, so I allow him to do this, not because I'm collecting money. I'm not an associate to what he's doing. I'm not a co-founder in his business, but if someone has given value to you, you should also give value back to them. And that's why he asked for my permission to let you know, and I gave the permission. I'm even hearing it too for the first time. I don't even know what it's about. So, but enjoy quality stuff from him. So I know that actually having a meeting now. So, as
I think I've been able to cover all the questions in the chat. I don't think there's any other one that has been.
I think I have a question for you. You said something about the option someone already asked that is there any app that can help with clocking in? For now, I can't say there's an app, but I know there are devices. I bought one last year for about 30,000 naira, and he just said that maybe there are some for even less than that. So I'm sure if you are truly interested, you can get across to us. We can point you in the direction of where you could probably find them, or just check online. Those things are everywhere. And again, please don't just listen to this and just say, oh, I've attended another Zoom meeting. Something important must come out of your business by the virtue of this training in the month of August. Human resource management throughout. The name of the device is just clock in device. Just say clock in device. Clock in device. That's all. You know, and this month you must put structure in your human resource management so that you can attract the right kind of staff. You can, you can select them. You can, attract them to your business, manage them, retain them, and work together with them to build that vision that you have. And you will see that everything, you will have joy and your business will grow. So please, if you are listening to me this afternoon and you are not yet, please reach out to me on Instagram at Yemisi Adeyeye if you want any other thing from now, at Yemisi Adeyeye. So we'll take it from there. So it's easy to just go on from there. All right. So if you are not on LifeFound Business Network Facebook group, please go and join. And when you want to join, the group will ask you some questions. Are you a business owner? Have you started? And so on. Please answer those questions. Because some people say, oh, I've clicked to join and they did not add me. If you are not answering those questions, we may not be able to add you by doing. So if there's no other question or comments, I would like to say thank you for being part of this training. And the replay will be on the Facebook group for now. You can enjoy it. You can share with others to join so that they can enjoy it. It will be there for a while. And I want to say, keep building that your business. Okay, I'm Yemisi Adeyeye, your relatable business teacher and the founder of LifeFound Business Network. And also, I just authored a book, Entrepreneurship is a Beautiful Thing. When you join the network on Facebook, LifeFound Business Network, LifeFound as in LifeFount. Yes, LifeFound. So you will be able to know how to pre-order and how to be part of it. And definitely the book is just about structuring your business. So for those of you that did not apply for Facebook grants, don't worry. When you structure your business, you'll be able to apply for the next one. So let those of us that have structure enjoy this one. We love you. So have a nice day. So